Man, what is up? What is
Hola!
up? All right, man. It has
Cheers
been.
to
Cheers indeed. Cheers indeed to a long effing week, man. I'm telling you, it has been. It's been a hell of a week, but
you can say that again.
it has. And it's not so much rolling on the wrong side of the bed. In fact, I was talking to someone right before church, and she was like, all like, rainbows and unicorns and shit like that. And I just looked at her, I said, man, that's cool, because I've been waking up on the wrong side. I seem at the very last minute to roll over on the wrong side of the bed when I get, but not this week. It was just
Yeah.
busy. And I've been relying heavily on music, man, just playing. But I see you got, what guitar do you have tonight?
My Telly.
You've got your Telly?
A few like a couple years ago I wanted a Telly. There was one song I was recording. It's like, I need a Telly. Like, that would sound awesome.
Yeah.
Now I can't remember what song it was. But anyway. But I wanted it, but it's like, I don't want to. I mean, even a Mexican one was like $600. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I went to Guitar Center. Actually, I was visiting family in Waco, and I was like, all right. So I went in and I was looking. I saw this little Squire.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It was like $179. It wasn't even $200.
Really?
I was like, yeah. I plugged it in, and I was like, sold.
It's something like that, man. When you pick up a guitar, you just...
Yeah.
I mean, especially with us playing for so long, you pick up a guitar in a guitar store, you just know it, right?
Yeah, and it records really well. The only thing I did to it, besides I got a different pick guard. But anyway, the bridge pickup, I put a Seymour Duncan. It's a hot stack.
Really?
I think it's what hot stack is what it's. And I'd never wired up a pickup before, but the pickup that came in it, the standard Squire, it was a junky ass pick. I've had it on Craigslist for 2 years. No one's bought it. But I'm getting rid of that. And it's like, I'm only selling it for $5. But I'm like,
for
someone's going to buy it. Yeah, I want somebody to have it. I don't want to throw out a pickup. But I really.
And nobody in that amount of time for $5 has bought your damn pickup.
I would have bought it from somebody. So maybe I'll have to buy it for myself.
Something about older pickups, and I've noticed this with my Epiphone Les Paul, that those pickups, okay, the guitar's about 20 years old. Actually, it's old enough to drink, so I guess it's 21 now. And hot dog, man, those pickups are hot. But it's a cheaper guitar. It's made in Korea, I think, back in the 90s. But one thing, in fact, this is my guitar tech who told me, he said, he told somebody who wanted to change out his pickups, he goes, man, in that old guitar, he said, those pickups are old, and there's something about old pickups in a guitar that they add to the patina to it. I don't know what it is, but there's something to that, because whenever that I plug that, and that guitar is a fraction of the cost of my Gibson, but it's just as hot. Those pickups are just as hot.
Yeah, I was thinking about that with my Strats. Like, I've got, my mod shop one that I had made and designed and everything, and my Mexican Strat, which is a third of the cost.
Yeah.
It's neck and neck. Like, if you ask me, like, which one, I mean, both of them are. I mean,
Yeah.
they play great, but I mean the Mexican. Yeah, I think that's it too. Cheap guitars. You know, people might ask if you have to have a great guitar to
Yeah.
be, or an expensive guitar to be good.
Right.
You don't anymore.
Right.
I'd say, you know, like you can get like this here. I mean, this wasn't even $200, and it's
Right.
a serviceable guitar. I mean,
Right.
I've recorded numerous tracks with it.
Well, and there's a difference between cheap because cheap back 20 years ago, a cheap guitar. Yeah. I mean, but now like they're almost made out of plastic now. Because when I bought an Epiphone an Epiphone Les Paul about 3 years ago. It doesn't even stack up to my Les Paul Epiphone that I bought 20 years ago, and I'm thinking, I mean, it's almost like there's entry level, then there's cheap. Because before cheap was cheap, you know.
Yeah, cheap was
cheap. But now it's almost like we have to go cheaper. Let's make this plasticized. Let's not even use wood. Let's use some kind of a
piece of plastic.
Like on the back, it's plastic. It's not even wood. So now we have this entry level. Then we have cheap. Nowadays is cheap, you know, which is $200 to $500, and then you've got your more expensive one. So guitar, as far as the entry level, has changed dramatically. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You don't have to have, you know, thousands of dollars anymore to have a serviceable. And you know, it's the same thing with amps, pedals. I mean, you can have a setup and just, you know, for really, I mean, you could $500 or less.
Yeah.
You know, you could have a decent guitar amp, you know, up and running. So, but you know, they use computers and stuff to cut all the. I mean, it's not. Yeah. You know, and a lot of them are made in the same factories that not that the Americans, but that other guitars are made in.
Right.
And so, you know,
things have changed, man. Things have changed a lot. And you know, people ask, well, what kind of guitar should I start with? And I think this is a great segue to what you're talking about buying a $200 Telly. Is what kind of guitar should I buy? Because you have that $200 to $500 window, which is it's a good window. I mean, especially for somebody who's just starting out. You know, we obviously have nicer guitars now, but if you buy something that's too cheap, you have a hard time either maintaining it, keeping it in tune.
Don't get a first act guitar from Walmart.
Right.
Those are toys. They're not real guitars.
That's right. They're not real guitars. If you're not willing to spend at least $200 to just kind of see if you're interested, I don't think it's really worth it.
Yeah, the little, you know, the little dime store, you know, guitar. Yeah, I mean, they're just junk. I mean, I guess they're playable, but the thing with me is tuning, and I figured, and that was when I got into where I was able to play a little bit nicer guitars. What I noticed the big difference between like this Squire, you know, and my American Strat is the tuning keys. It's a finer tooth count on the higher end guitars. You can get more dialed in on your tuning, and they'll stay in tune. You know. Yeah. And like the Strat, I feel like I could throw it down the stairs, and you know, it's gonna stay in tune. Where you know, your cheaper guitars, you can't. It's hard to get them really dialed. And then especially when you're learning to play, if your guitar is out of tune, you don't know if you're playing the note right. And you might be playing it right, but if you're out of tune, it's not going to sound right. So it's going to hold you up. So a little investment, but then again, you don't. I wouldn't start out with a. I wouldn't. Yeah.
No matter how you slice it, it's going to be an investment. No matter what hobby you're getting to, it's going to be an investment. So go and spend a little bit more, because one thing that I found, especially with the guitars that are half scale, you got half scale, 3/4 scale, and then full scale. I noticed this with some of my younger students that are playing 3/4 scale guitar. In fact, oh hell, yeah, that's right. My niece took her guitar back home, which I've got a story about that here in a minute.
Yeah.
And those half scale guitars that you see at Toys R Us and things like that, they're uber cheap. They're really, really tough to keep in tune. The 3/4 scale, not too bad. And
Yeah.
I've got 2 9-year-old students, and all they have to do is just let their guitar fall on the ground. It's on carpet, no big deal. It's out of tune. Whereas, so spend a little extra money, a couple $100, buy something that will, hell man, just something that'll stay in tune.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I ask for.
Right, and I always tell people go to a guitar store, talk to somebody that, and actually most of them are really nice. I know they're on commission, but most of them are like the guys that I've bought a few from here. They're cool. I mean, they know not everyone's going to buy the $10,000 guitar on the wall. I mean, some of us are working class, white collar. Blue collar, whatever.
Yeah. It's still not going to happen, though. I mean, people, they know, but they know that they're going to need to make a sale. That's why in fact, I'm going to go and make a plug right now. There's a local store called Tar Play Music. I mean, I used to go over to the big box stores. I'm not going to name them. I've been to the big box stores, and just trying to get somebody to help you. This is just my personal experience. I like going, if you do have a local guitar store, they're music professionals, talk to one of them, just like Brian was saying, talk to somebody just like, hey, I want to learn guitar, what do you recommend? And they're not going to say $10,000 because they know. They're going to point you to a Squire, an Epiphone, maybe a Jackson, something like that. But yeah,
it's kind of like that Wayne. Remember on Wayne's World, and there's that Strat in the glass case, and it goes in like every day. The Excalibur.
Yes,
it goes in every day, and they have that sign: "No stairway to heaven."
No stairway denied.
Yeah, and he's there every day playing it. And they've got to like unlock it.
Yeah,
and then one day. He's like, I think I'd like to buy it today. So he brings
Cha-ching!
it home. Cha-ching. So,
yeah.
But and it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I like to support like the local guitar stores because I think they're important. But man, there's times I don't feel like going to the guitor store.
I hear you.
Well, okay, here's my predicament. I live in Washington State.
Yeah.
Okay. In the summertime. Fine. I love getting out and driving around and running errands and stuff. Well, come like October, it rains for like 9 months straight.
Right.
When it's raining, I don't feel like it's rainy and muddy and it's like there's wrecks and it's like I can just go on my phone if I need strings and just and actually the last God, I don't remember the last guitar I bought. Probably this one. I think it's the last one I bought from a guitar store.
Really?
Yeah, they've all been online.
And I bought my Gibson online, my Gibson Les Paul, and see, because I'm fortunate, and that's true. If it's way out of the way, I can understand. I'm kind of fortunate because my local guitar store, it's 2, maybe 3 blocks away, so I can understand.
Yeah,
but that's different. That's different for me.
It's different.
And they recommend me for lessons and things. So there's that local aspect. But something else with buying less expensive guitars is, first off, getting something that will at least stay in tune. And Brian has beat me over the head with this when I first really got back into music after doing ministry work. That was cool.
Yeah.
But that is getting your guitar set up. It costs $40, $50, and okay, so if you spent $100, $200 on a guitar, go down, ask for a basic setup. They're going to set your action, your intonation. Plus, it's going to make sure that it stays in tune. And that to me is a big thing. It's going to sound good. and play.
Right.
So.
Yeah. As we're talking about cheap guitars, my Squire, hang on, the plug. I've been having problems keeping the plug in, even with the little nut. Well, it started. I let my son. That's another thing. If you have, teenagers and stuff, hey, right. Dad, can I borrow your guitar? So.
Now, have you let Brax play your new Fender?
A little bit, but not.
But supervised, right?
Supervised. So sometimes it's like, wait a minute, where are you going with that? And so yeah.
I've let my 4-year-old play my $2,500 guitar, and I'm thinking, and of course I'm sitting right there. I'm like, now because she's 4, she's gonna drop shit. I completely understand.
That's what they do. Yeah.
But I'm like, now sometimes she'll just walk into my room, grab my Gibson, and she'll drag. I'm like, time out.
Time out. What are you doing?
But she's something else. 4 years old. She comes over today. She brings her little. It's Frozen. That's her favorite, or one of her favorite movies. And she wrote a song. 4 years old, and it's called "I'm a Rock Star." She wrote a song called "I'm a," and she's singing.
It's incredible, dude.
And I'm over there just playing. Kind of what we're doing at the beginning, but. Yeah, it blew me away. I want to be a rock star. 4 years old, and she's like, Unc, are we gonna have a concert? I'm like, concert, rock star? What? She's not getting it from me. Where the hell? I don't know.
What do you do?
It blew me away. But we do have our new segment, and I call it fake news. Fake news. Okay, so. I read several threads.
I'm changing guitars because.
So you're switching over to the.
the plug fell out.
The plug fell out, so you gotta.
I'm sitting here.
Over to your,
cheap guitars. Well, that's when you're in the middle of a show and the plug falls out.
This couldn't have gone better. So that's what happens when you. Oh, really? Hey, we just demonstrated. So if you want to comment below, and I'm sure Brian or somebody. Thank you. So fake news. So I read several threads the last week or two about squeaky strings. I'm trying to record a new album, and if you have a large condenser mic, and I'm sure that I'll do a segment sometime in the future about mics, but.
And then that segment, I won't be a part of it. I'll be sitting back here with a notepad.
I've got a collection of mics, but
I have a mic.
Like, which mic do I use? Which I've spent the last 2 or 3 weeks just trying to decide which mic sounds better on not just acoustic guitar, but also finger picking acoustic. So. Whenever that you have a large diaphragm microphone, it picks up everything. So squeaky strings, everything. So I kept reading, oh man, use baby powder, man. Baby powder, that'll take the squeak right out. So I'm like, hey, these are music professionals, why not? So I got I'm not going to show you the label, I don't want to get in trouble, but I got baby powder. Shit. Okay, whatever. So I got baby powder. I put a nice glob of baby powder in my hands, rubbed it all in, and I turned my nice guitar into an albino. And my hand turned into plaster. And my squeaky strings were still squeaky. So, baby powder, you are fake news. So what I did was, I went down and I got some finger ease. I know this is backwards, but finger ease. It's lube. Lube up your guitar, am I right? Lube
it up, baby.
Lube that shit up. Now it doesn't make the squeak go away completely, but it definitely makes it better. So that's my take. So anyways, that's our fake news moment. fake news is baby
Fake
powder
news.
on a guitar. It does
Lube
not.
it.
It may draw out your hands temporarily. It's bullshit. I'm just gonna call it what it is. It's bullshit. I'm gonna take a swig. That got me all. That's my soapbox.
Yeah,
Right.
and you don't notice as much, and there's times where, especially recording acoustic, I have more of
Yeah.
a time recording acoustic because it's so, you pretty much have to do the whole take,
You do.
you can't punch a lot in,
No.
and or at least I can't because I'm still stuck in
No.
the analog recording age.
Even
Which
digital,
is-
it's tough. I mean, because
Yeah.
you have to do like layering, but
Right.
you have to get it just right. So that's why all of my guitar tracks, especially my acoustic guitar tracks, maybe electric. But you see, that's what people don't get nowadays. People are getting into doing piano, synth, MIDI, that kind of stuff, and that's great. You want to do beats, that kind of thing, but that's a controlled environment. That is completely controlled. When
Yeah.
you do, when you mic up an acoustic guitar, when you mic up a guitar amp, you are at its mercy. In fact, I just started recording last week, and a siren. Once again, I'm using a large diaphragm condenser microphone that picks up everything. I'm about halfway. It sounds good. I lubed up my guitar. I hear woo, woo, woo. I'm like, fuck. Okay, well, I got to start that over. But so
Yeah, and it's amazing, especially on acoustic, how
Yeah.
much it picks up because
Picks up
just
everything.
a little,
Yeah.
just a little slide.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like much on here, but when you have it mic'd,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like,
It's
and,
awful. Yeah.
and it's amazing. It's like us, like anyone I record at home, and you'll hear, and I kind of have to go around and tell everybody in the house, okay,
Yeah.
I'm recording, and but you can,
Leave me the hell
it
alone.
picks up. Yeah, it picks up. Something's going in the dryer. The neighbors
Yeah.
are having a fight. There's a helicopter, and all of those things happen
Yeah.
when it's time to record too.
Right.
But like when if I'm home alone, it's dead silent. You
silent,
can hear
yeah.
it. But I just take a nap instead of make use of the quiet time. I'm like, I'm going to sleep.
It's quiet. Let's take a nap.
Yeah. But then,
but that's just it kind of blows you away that whenever that you want to record, you can't. Whenever that you can record, it's like I'm too tired. I'm too tired. Oh, I'm not in the. I'm never in the mood to record when it's perfect.
right. Yeah.
Can't do it.
It's something to watch, and I put it on my Facebook page yesterday. Did you check that out? It was Dave Grohl.
Yes.
Play.
Yes.
He does like a 21-minute song, and he plays all the instruments, but he does them all in one take.
That's
and
crazy.
he's like, and he said there was a lot of times he'd be on minute 20. 20-minute song. He'd be on minute 20.
Yeah.
And it's a killer tune. That guy's
Yeah.
amazing. Anyway,
Dave is amazing.
yeah, he'd be on like minute 20,
Yeah.
and he'd be like, oh, I can do it better than this.
Yeah.
And then he'd go, and I've done that. It's like, and especially when it's like solo, And that's the thing about being a guitar player and recording your own stuff.
Oh yeah.
Every song, at least for mine, every song has an extended solo. Blast in
Or extended intro.
extended intros as well. Make the song. See, that was Pink Floyd.
Yes.
Pink Floyd, like a 5-minute intro.
Oh yeah.
A 20-minute song, like
Yeah.
13 minutes of it's a guitar solo.
But they could pull it out, man. They could get away with that.
They could.
They were masters at that.
Yeah, but but the thing, and that's it though. Especially like recording a lead or something.
Yeah.
I'll finish it, and I'll kind of I'll play it back and listen to it, and like, I hit all the notes.
Yeah.
I kind of figure it out as I go anyway. But I'm like, okay, I did it correctly, but I don't know. It's just I can do it better. you know, and then you'll
it's
go
tough,
back.
yeah.
And a lot of it with me too is like I just said, I don't, especially with solos and stuff, I don't write it, you know, like I can't read or write any music, you know, so I don't. It's not usually not until I'm recording that I'll like, okay, I'll kind of make it up on the spot. So a lot of it's still learning. It's like, okay, I'm figuring it out, and then just wasting a lot of recording time, because if I would just not hit record and just actually try to figure out what do you
know, that's where
that's why you have a producer that keeps you on track. That's why I figured it out. You know, we always bring up in every episode, you think we're a bunch of crackheads, but we bring up drugs in every episode.
This is my drug beer. And real quick, what I'm vaping, you probably noticed me vaping. I'm vaping chocolate pudding. This shit is good. So I just want to point that out, that if anybody wants to know what brand that I'm vaping, I'll message you back. But this is chocolate pudding. This shit is good. So anyways... this is the only drug that I need, man.
That's why you have producers. They keep you on track.
They do. Yeah.
I've never had a producer. I guess if we'd have to produce each other's albums, because we couldn't afford to pay each other. So it's like, I'll scratch your back. You know, it's like, but there's times I wish I did, especially like now. I'm trying to write an album, and I'm like 2 or 3 songs in, and I'm not rushing it. Right. And once the rain seasons, because I've been enjoying the summer. I've been barbecuing, biking. I'm outdoors, you know.
Yeah.
But once the rain hits and you're stuck inside, I'm like, okay, I'll kind of tuck away in the music room and just kind of. But that's what, I think would be great about a producer, just to keep you on, you know. Like you start trailing off and like, no, we're working on this song first. We're going to finish this song and then we'll move on to that one. You know,
you have to do that, because even if I did produce you and I like, okay, your cutoff time is 4 minutes. I just wonder what would happen if we hit 4:01. You're like, but I'm still going.
Wait, did you say 4 minutes or 14 minutes?
You know, hey, we're working with the Dave Grohl Nirvana standard right here. So, yeah, it makes you wonder. But we've got a few minutes left. So, we've both got Fenders. So I thought you wanted to...
Thanks to faulty hardware, I'm now playing my second Fender for the evening.
But, you know, that was a great... That was such a great demonstration, though, man. This is epic. That's why we do this on the fly. This is not made up shit, no script, nothing like that. But
we literally, it's one of those, like, I texted John at like 7, like, hey, are we still on for 8:30? Because we haven't talked, I don't think, in like a couple days. Yeah, it's good. So I went and took a nap. Set my phone alarm for 8. So I woke up at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like, I need to wake up or I'm going to be like, here we are.
Yeah.
How many episodes is this anyways? Is it 6?
I'm pretty sure it's 6. If I'm wrong.
We're starting to lose count. That means we're doing something right.
Speaking of which, okay, so we didn't do a video last week because I was on vacation and you were busy.
My parents were in town.
And your parents were in town. And this week I had a couple people ask me, so when's y'all's next video? I'm like, that's pretty cool. You know, people are catching on to guitar.
We're starting a revolution.
We are. We're starting a music, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram revolution. So I thought we both have Fenders. And I know that we've done blues before, but now we've got that bluesy tone. Excuse me, shit.
And
man.
John's in standard tuning, everybody.
I'm finally in standard tuning with a little Stevie Ray. So I thought we'd... Woo, man, playing the blues on 2 Fender guitars, real.
Doesn't get any
Guitars.
more American than that, baby.
Full American, baby. We love the USA, so don't forget to what?
Comment.
Subscribe.
Like, share it with your friends and enemies.
Tell everybody. We don't care. Friends, enemies, tell everybody about Guitar Dudes. We'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.